A. It is a piece of beauty. The tensions in those curves, spot on right. Yes.
Feeling about Comic Sans.
I love it. I love it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with Comic Sans, but there's everything wrong with people how people use it. Comic Sans was designed for a specific purpose. It was never supposed to end up in the operating system. Well, Vincent Conner, who works for me, he designed it. And when he was working at Microsoft in the type department, and it was designed to go with an avatar in Windows 2000, an internet avatar. And at first, when they created the little avatar with the speech bubbles and everything, they used Times New Roman and lots of crap. So he said, well, why not have something comic style, based on 2000 AD and all that sort of stuff. And then he designed Comic Sans. But for some reason, some project manager at Microsoft decided to stick Comic Sans into the operating system, and hence we now have Comic Sans everywhere. But I think it's particularly designers who have a dislike for Comic Sans. Everyone else who uses it likes it, and the reason is it is very legible, and it appeals. It has a warmth to it. It appeals to people. It makes it informal, and it makes it warm. Whatever it is. Obviously, you don't want to have seen it on an ATM machine, a cash machine. No, wrong. But there's definitely places where Comic Sans is. And if you start looking at Comic Sans, the execution of it is perfectly fine. There is nothing wrong with the typeface. It's usage. Yes.
The Virgin Galactic font. I think it's very good. It does look futuristic, and as it should. But when you design a new font, which should be, say, futuristic, what kind of reference points do you use to get to that finished product?
It's really difficult. I mean, personally, I don't particularly think the Virgin Galactic is futuristic. It's a great font. You've seen that in the 1970s, or was it Battlestar Galactica or something? Or Star Wars, and everyone has done it before. Yeah, but this kind of like square stuff and grid style stuff, it seems to be very much the kind of like way we think about futuristic. But for futuristic, I think if we want to start looking into the future, we need to start thinking of a totally different visual language. I also believe that our alphabet has far too many characters for today's purposes. I mean, look at text messaging. Lots of people start cutting out the vowels. Increasingly, in that kind of like type of communication, or even sometimes like in Twittering and all that, people start cutting out letters and abbreviating them, becoming to a more consonant-based language, written language. Like, as a matter of fact, like the Hebrew, like you have in Hebrew or Arabic, and many other languages where you drop out vowels altogether and just make an odd indicator where you want to create this ambiguity. Now, I think that's one thing. Start cutting out letters. And I also think, I have no idea how it's going to happen, but I think, you will find over the next 100, 200 years that the letter forms will change, dictated by technology or what happens in technology, and how we start reading as well. The letter forms will inevitably change. And if you look throughout history, type forms have always been dictated, or the type styles have developed out of technological